Hello and welcome to the Mike Tapes Podcast, Episode 2. I am your host, Caroline Levitt, and I'm here with Helena Macias and Daniel Danny Eskin, both wonderful members of our theater tech class at Western Center Academy. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about theater tech because they build our sets and they do technical. I don't really know what they do. That's why they're here, because I can't talk about this. What do you guys do in theater tech? Because I really have no idea.
Well, some of us work on the technical aspects of sound and lighting during the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us have made the sets using the workshop class, and I think that's about it, more or less.
About most of
What was that, Helena?
I said that's about mostly what we do.
What do you guys do, like, specifically?
I have gone out for sound and lighting, but I have mainly done set building. I've worked on the Fulcrum, the minecart for the Wizard of Oz show, which has sadly been canceled. Not canceled, postponed.
Postponed. It's not canceled.
Postponed.
It's not
canceled.
It's not gone yet. We have a chance.
We have a chance. It's been postponed. I also worked on Legally Blonde, making the trailer, and other performances.
For me, this is my first year in theater tech, so I really didn't know how to do a lot of things. But I've mostly been working on building stuff, and I don't really know how to do the all the technical stuff, the sound and lighting. But what I worked on for also Wizard of Oz, which you guys didn't get to see, but it was really cool. We did this silhouette cutout of the witch, the Emerald City, and then what's her name, Dorothy.
I never got to see it.
Oh, I have a picture of the witch, I think. It looks so cool, but it was before it was painted. And then we also made the little stages that we had for Merry Wives. A lot of us worked on that.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of us.
I forgot about those stages. Danny, what have you built in other
I
shows or
have-
in Wizard of Oz or whatever?
In other shows, I helped with the staging for Merry Wives. I have done the trailer for Legally Blonde. It was this crappy old-looking trailer that just came out for a quick minute.
It was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. The metal sheeting and stuff.
Yeah, and my group actually signed inside it with it was like graffiti with spray paint. It was real nice.
Cool.
Great project to work on.
Sorry, I got distracted. Mr. Brady texted a group chat about theater stuff.
Nice.
Sorry, continue.
I have also done. I don't remember. Give me a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You don't need to fill
Danny,
space. You're good. You're good. Chill.
We did the little scaffold, not the scaffolding.
The
those
scaffolding.
Yeah, we had a.
Oh,
my
yeah, you
God,
guys
that took-
painted the scaffolding, didn't you?
we built them. Well, we
we-
ordered them and put them together.
We ordered them. We built them together, and then we actually had to file it down using sandpaper.
It was bright. It's bright yellow.
It was horrendously yellow. It got all over our clothes. The sweater that I'm wearing right now, it took 2 washes to get the yellow out of it because it's white.
That's what came from filing it. We actually had to file it down so we could spray paint it brown and gray.
It turned out they turned out really cool. It turned out really cool and they're really fun to use. So what do you guys do? You guys talked about some mic stuff before we started recording. What did you guys do during that? What was that?
Oh, that was in the beginning of the year. So Mr. Walner was kind of showing us how to do things, and we kind of split up into groups.
Mm-hmm.
So they had people learning how to use the soundboard, I believe, and that's what Danny did. But there were other people learning how to use the basic tools, which I usually did just because I didn't know how to use any of them. And so for the mic thing, they had to figure out how far we had to stand to adjust it. It was really fun to help just because I got put in a mic and I just said the slopes off. I didn't know what to say.
Being mic'd up is just it's a wild experience. You always find mic tape weeks later. It's true. During Legally Blonde, I was mic'd up. Yeah, Legally Blonde, I was mic'd up, and I think the day after the last show, I was laying in bed and I felt it on my neck, and I just ripped off a piece of mic tape, and I was like, "Oh, that's fantastic!" I found mic tape in my luggage at International Thespian Festival 3 months after the show closed.
How?
It goes everywhere. I don't know.
It's the glitter of theater.
It's horrendous. It's the glitter of theater is mic tape. That's exactly what it goes everywhere all the time. Okay. Do any of you guys? I think Danny works during actual performances, right? What do you do?
I have not actually worked during performances, unfortunately, because it was Matthew and Con have worked on sound, Matthew, Con, and Benny, and then Maria showed up last show, Merry Wives, to work on lighting.
Danny, didn't you do something for Dead Man's Chest in the beginning of the year?
Dead Man's Chest. I showed up for a night. I apologize. I did show up for a night. I showed up a night with Con, and I helped with the sound. We played music while you guys were fizzing around, giving everyone dancing, giving out the food. It was a real great show.
It was such a good show. That was
yeah, I really liked that. That was so fun. I think my salad got thrown at Travis.
Did you work anything for Legally Blonde?
Me?
No, Danny.
I did. I worked backstage. I'm sorry, I completely forgot.
No, you're
about
good.
it.
You're good. What did you do?
I was backstage. I was supposed to help out with moving sets. I did do that, but I also got assigned with costuming and putting on costumes on a couple of the actors.
Oh, you did? You were a dresser? That's so cool.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked it. It was fun.
It is fun. I love doing backstage work. I did it once. I was props. Jesus Christ, my guinea pig is like freaking out. I did props for Romeo and Juliet, which turned out to be like way more difficult than it seems. Like it's really hard to run backstage, but it was a lot of fun, and I got a lot of appreciation for that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So, so I know that Mr. Brady kind of gives us the vision for sets and pieces and stuff, and then Wolney kind of adjusts it to how what he can do. How are the students kind of involved in that process, if you guys are? Like in planning sets and things.
When we started talking about Wizard of Oz, I feel like I don't really remember for Mary Wives how we went about it, but what happened is they were kind of talking to us about like the mask idea. And the kind of theme, like, it was supposed to be like, what was it? Not steampunk.
It was kind of steampunk, but not really.
Yeah.
It
was like that, but like different. So what we did is we just talked about it, and usually people just throw out ideas of how we could kind of make things look that way. It was cool. I don't remember how we did it for Merry Wives, though.
I think it's a collaborative ordeal. We just give out the ideas of what we can think of, and then it just kind of goes around. It's like a huge giant brainstorm across the entire classroom. We're just giving out ideas.
That sounds so much fun. I wish I could do theater tech and theater at the same time, because I would.
It's honestly
Hopefully I'll make it 5th and 6th period.
I mean that's a good point. What has been your favorite show you've worked on, like at all? Any of them, Helena?
I think it would have been Wizard of Oz whenever we get to see it, but right now it has to be Merry Wives because that was the first one I got to work on, and then like because I wasn't doing any staging, I got to see it, and I was so proud to see all like the tinsel and all the staging. It felt like actually being a part of something because I really I feel like I haven't been a part of things as much like that, and it was so great to see it. I was so excited.
Dude, theater's magic. Like that's on God. Theater is a magical experience.
I'm totally doing theater tech again next year.
Oh, you have to. I mean,
yeah.
If you don't do that, you have to do theater. So, I mean, lesser of the two evils. Which one are you gonna choose? Danny, what has been your favorite one, or at least like your favorite moment or something like that? Like Helena just said.
I have a favorite one. My favorite one was Legally Blonde because of the trailer I made with Nicholas Martineau and Aaron Deaton. Like it was the first project where I actually felt like I contributed something.
Mm-hmm. And it was like the three of you, just the three of you?
Yeah, it was basically just the three of us, really.
I'm sure you had helping hands because we're like the front runners of that project.
Yes.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
They can put off cool projects, honestly. Like that little group of people. They do so well.
Oh, thank you.
Danny, you always walk around during shows or like during tech weeks with like such, I don't know, you walk with purpose and you're always like going, you're like a mini Mr. Wolney. He like looks at you and you like hand him what you need like immediately. He doesn't need to talk anything. It's so entertaining. It's so funny.
Oh, well,
because like Mr. Wolney does the same thing. He's walking around like finding random objects and putting them together, or like commanding people to go do not commanding, but you know, telling people to go do
requesting.
Yeah, and then he just like looks at you and you just do exactly what he needs without him like saying anything. And I'm like, what is going on here? What kind of magic is this?
It's telepathic theater tech moments.
You guys are in sync, bro. You're in different wavelength than the rest of us. Jesus Christ. Okay, I want to hear stories about theater tech or like things that have happened and talk about those for a little bit.
I'll think of one. There's been a lot of moments. It's just like I gotta think of something I really liked.
Well, just choose anything. We got plenty of time. We're only like 10 minutes into this recording.
Oh, we're only 10 minutes in.
Only?
Yeah.
I remember putting up all that tinsel. I remember putting up that tinsel was oddly fun because we finally got to be in the same room as theater. I'm like, oh, this is the stress of it. This is great.
That's the down and dirty putting up tinsel.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to tear it down, but I remember that I forgot who I was. Someone had to go, and I was like one of the only people in the room. So it was like I know Danny was there, and I had to put up the tinsel, but I couldn't do it.
You were too short or something.
Yeah, I remember. So we had to like maneuver around like each other, and it was so funny. Man, I miss putting up that tinsel for some reason.
Dude, that tinsel, it hits different.
It was so pretty.
It was really pretty. Mr. Brandt, when he went into the theater, he said he immediately got a headache from staring at the tinsel. But it was really pretty. So, headache, whatever.
It was gorgeous.
Hold on. Milo wants to say hi apparently because he's squealing. Can you say hi?
Hello.
Say
Milo?
hi, baby. Yeah, he's one of my guinea pigs.
Hello.
He's got eye smush and stuff. Hi, bud. Be quiet. Go back to your cage. There you go.
I think my favorite moment of this year was, it wasn't even about me. It wasn't have anything to do with my group. I just walk into Mr. Woolney's and I see Helena and her group with this flat board of wood stacked in between chairs and biology books and a projector flashing Dorothy onto it, and they're chasing it out. And they just give me the...
There's just Dorothy, on a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro.
And they just give me a dead stare. And I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah, because no one really knew how we set it up because they were in the theater room, but we were chilling in Molney's because we had to trace Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
He just came in. He helped us with the projector. That actually was really funny. All my memories of theater tech are really, it's before we started working for some reason. Because, I don't know what about that class. We're all, a little, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's lagging.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But, we did stuff before we start working, and we messed around a bit, but it was super fun.
Well, there's only so much you can do leading up to the first show. Especially for Dead Man's Chest, there wasn't much you guys could do.
I think, what were we doing? Oh, that's when we were...
That's when we were messing with the mics and actually learning about the soundboard.
Which is funny, because we didn't even use the mics until...
No, we did not.
Until, Merry Wives, and we used, 3 of them, and now we had the ones for Wizard of Oz.
And then you had all 20 mics being used.
Oh, yeah, except we never even got mic'd up, because we couldn't do Tech Week. That's really sad. We never got mic'd up. I was going to be mic number 5. I remember that. I was going to be mic number 5. So, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but no one can stop me, and the show's postponed anyway. So,
talk away.
You know what? You guys aren't going to get in trouble. It's fine.
Oh my god, wait, Caroline, I remembered my favorite moment.
Okay, go for it.
I think out of all of them, it was after me, Mahek, and Annika, we finished cutting out our first... We were using, what was it called, Danny? The jigsaw?
The jigsaw?
The, upside-down saw thingy. Anyways, we finished cutting out one of these, big wood boards, the one that Danny had seen us stacking in Wally's room.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first one we finished, and it was, the Wicked Witch, and it was after Dorothy got a little messed up. We were like, oh my god. But once we finished cutting her out, we, looked at her silhouette. It looked so cool, and I was just so happy.
Filled with pride of just...
Yeah, I was like...
I love it.
That. Some of those are my lines.
Oh my god. You're like, I functioned as a normal dad. You got the dad energy. You can use a garage tool.
I'm proud of my child.
Your child is a wooden cutout of Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, right, okay, I was gonna talk about, a super cool special effects thing that I got to use. Yeah, you know, Danny, you know.
I know.
So, for the show, we have planned, for the Wicked Witch to use some fireballs on stage and have some pyro effects. Which we were going to keep a secret, but since the show's postponed and, you know, it's my podcast, I do what I want. We had bought this, like, it's like a finger attachment. It's a little metal thing, and it slipped onto your finger, and it's got, like, a little flint and steel on the inside, so you flick it, and then it sets some cotton on fire, and it just, like, lights up, and that was the coolest thing. I felt so special. Because they called me into, the room where you guys were practicing your lighting and sound cues, I think.
Matthew and Con were practicing their lighting and sound cues, yes. And Mr. Brady comes in with a box, and inside is the flame ball thing with the cotton.
Yeah.
And then we called you up. Yeah.
Yeah, I got called up, and I was like, I thought you guys were going to be where the stage was at, because they were in Mr. Wolney's room. We were down in the flex space and the costuming room. And I got called up, and he was like, come in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking around for him, and I was like a little bit flipped out. I was like, I don't know where he is, and I can't find Mr. Wolney or him, and I don't know where he is. I don't want to be late because I hate being late for things. And then eventually I found you guys.
I was surprised you were playing hide and seek.
Right, pretty much. And I walk in and you guys like all look at me, and he like takes a pause, and he's like all ready to show me this cool little toy thing. It's not a toy. It's very important technical stuff. Not a toy.
Definitely not a toy.
Not a toy. It's so much fun though. And he was like, okay, we're just gonna put the little cotton here, and you're just gonna slip it on your finger, and then you're gonna flick it, and it like sets on fire, and then there was sparks and cool things, and then low-key everybody in the room got to try it out because it was super cool and nobody wanted to be left out, and we didn't want to leave them out. Anyway, so we had fireballs at the show. It was pretty cool. I have a video of you trying to do it, and it was really funny because you failed like 3 times before
that can never be shown to the public. That will stay hidden.
I will keep it hidden. I did send it to Trinity though.
Oh no! Oh no! I can't
I'm so sorry.
I've been betrayed.
She thought it was adorable. It's fine. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh Christ!
Cool, Sparky.
Right. Fireballs. It was cool. Cool fireballs. Fun fireball time. It's my favorite tech thing.
There's been a lot of.
That was your favorite tech thing.
What was that, Helena?
There's a lot of playing with fire at this show because they had to people are burning wood for Wizard of Oz.
Oh, for real? For what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Like Rod and a whole group of people who are making the big words.
Oh, for the backdrop?
Yeah, they were burning it. Kind of looked like cheetah print.
I never got to see it. I didn't get to see any of the big set pieces except for the basic backdrop that had no images on it yet.
What about the hand cart?
I saw that.
That was burnt.
Yeah, that was cool too. They made can you tell us about that?
What, the fire or the hand cart?
The hand cart.
The hand cart. Okay, so the hand cart we proposed was that, or I think we were told that the pianist, Mrs.
Gongula. I think that's how you pronounce it, Mrs. G. I don't know.
Mrs. G, the pianist, was gonna sit on the hand cart, and she was gonna be playing music as we dragged her around stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took the same idea from the trailer from Legally Blonde. We built the base of it, and then we decided, because this is not necessarily like old-timey Wizard of Oz and more like what was it? Steampunky.
Yeah.
I guess.
It wasn't like steampunky, but it certainly wasn't traditional.
Kind of rustic.
Kind of rustic. Oh, rustic. Yeah, like farm rust type thing.
Yeah.
Rustic. Yeah. That is the perfect word. We were gonna do a fulcrum, a hand cart, like where you go up and down, going on mine track.
Mm-hmm.
And so we built an actual fulcrum, so it would go up and down an actual lever.
Like a pump type thing.
Yeah, it looks exactly like a pump with 2 handles.
Mm-hmm.
And that it would work. Two people could sit on it, and then 2 people can drag her around. Like, it was perfectly functional, and she was completely mobile. It was unfortunate that we never got to use it.
Hey, not yet. We will be able to use it.
We have not been able to use it quite yet.
Yes. Mrs. G was actually my first, not the first person to teach me music, because I had a piano teacher and a music teacher in like elementary school, but she was, for my first show that I ever did, Beauty and the Beast, she was the vocal coach for it.
Oh, really?
Like,
That's really cool.
yeah, I think I was 12. It was for the Ramona Youth Show, and like I don't even think she remembers me from back then. But like she was the first person to teach me music. She taught me all the warm-ups that we learned in theater, like because obviously she's Mrs. Bailey's mother, so she taught all the same vocal warm-ups Mrs. B. And so I learned them when I was like 12. She taught me how to do the solfege hand signals, because there's like the do re mi fa sol la ti do thing. They have hand signals for everything. She taught me those. She was like,
a lot of words that make no sense to me.
Solfege is the do, a deer, a female deer, re, a drop of the old sun, that thing. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. There's like a hand signal for each one when you teach it to like little kids, and she taught it to me, and I still remember all of them. And like, it was really weird seeing her walk in for Wizard of Oz, and I was like, Mrs. Gong is here, and I'm immediately more nervous because she was in the first audition I ever was, and like it was very weird, but she didn't remember me anyway, so whatever.
Aww. That's still one of my cool.
Isn't it? I'm just happy I got to work with her again, because she's so talented. Like, she's so talented. It's kind of ridiculous. Have you heard her play during like rehearsals and things?
Yes.
No.
Really talented. Okay, I think we're getting off track here. What?
That's okay.
It's okay though. It's fine. What other tech things do we have? Danny, did you work on theory of relativity or sense and sensibility?
We only built like this pillar for theory. It was chalk.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it was chalk all around.
It was like a cube.
We had.
It was like a cube. We still have it.
Yeah, I think it's like the building. It doesn't matter all that much. We put chalk paint all around it, and then Rosa, the senior from last year, an alumni, she drew theory of relativity. She made a bunch of equations on it. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, I remember looking at that. I thought it was so pretty.
It was in the lobby of the show to take pictures with and things, and now it's like in that pillar type area across from the flex space.
In front of the office, yeah.
Yeah, in front of the office where it's stored. Did you do anything for sense sensibility?
I built. Okay, so we were told that we were going to build these giant doors that actors would come in and out of during the show. And then when we got around to it, we just, instead of actually building doors, because we didn't know how to build doors, they just turned out to be giant windows that were just like back set pieces. And we painted it in purple and orange for 2 different scenes.
I liked those, because you could turn them around, they'd be different buildings. And I was like, that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My house was orange. My character's house was bright orange. It was horrendous, and I loved it. Can you tell me? Whoa, stop.
Oh,
sorry. That's the alarm to tell me to start recording a podcast, which is this one. Because we were gonna do this at 3, but now it's not 3.
Now we're a little early.
Yeah, we're a little early. Can you tell me about when you guys had Legally Blonde? You had a very different idea for how the set was gonna go, right? Like you had a turntable and things like that, and I don't think that ended up happening.
Ooh, I didn't work on it, but I do know some things about it. I know nothing about it. I have no idea what happened to it.
In the original Legally Blonde musical, the original musical, which I think came out in 2006, question mark? I'm a huge fan of it. I've watched it a lot. If not 6, then it's 08. Anyway, they had a circular turntable that was cut into thirds to be like 3 different types of set pieces, and I'm pretty sure we were going to have something like that, but I don't know how plans got changed. They somehow did, so we ended up not having that.
I think it got too big to fit somewhere.
That makes sense.
The actual big, like
the
it got
theater
too tall.
Too tall?
I think it got too tall. Like too big, too tall.
Dang, that
I think
sucks.
it could have fit if there was no actual wall, but there was a wall. Wasn't it the like salon, like a bathroom, and an actual third one?
It was supposed to be Paulette's salon, the bathroom of the crime scene, and Elle's dormitory. And then it ended up not being that. I think part of it ended up being Paulette's salon, but it really didn't like work out to how they originally intended. But that's okay. It still turned out to be it was a good show. You know, you work around that kind of stuff.
I think a lot of people's favorite that they've seen is Legally Blonde.
I think so too. If not Theory. Theory turned out to be a really good show.
Oh yeah, Theory was good.
I love Theory. I think that our next show after Wizard of Oz, which is a
Secret.
we don't have a name for it yet, but it's about household pets. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, we're writing it, and it turned out really well actually. That's why Mr. Brady texted me earlier. What's about that? But that one is going to be, I think, one of the front runners for the best shows at Western Center. I really do.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's going to be great. People are going to cry. They're going to laugh. It's going to be a good time.
They're going to cry?
I remember I cried.
It's about pets, Danny. It's about pets. Everyone cries.
I cried during Theory, I think.
I think I did too, backstage. Like, Isabel seeing "Promise Me This Mirror," and I was like,
oh, that was beautiful.
Crying back. I remember standing like there was a very short, like low hallway in the back of the stage, and you kind of have to shimmy through. But if you get to like one specific point, you can look through the backdrop and see the audience and the actor on stage if the lighting's just right. And so everyone would be piled around that one single spot watching everybody perform, and like 6 of us piled into a 1-foot little window to watch Promise Me This Mirror from the back was just like immaculate. Beautiful.
That was so I cried during that, I remember.
Love that show so much. Okay, I had one more question. Oh, right. Can you guys tell me about any technical difficulties or like funny stories of things that just went wrong during a show?
During a show?
Yeah, during a show or during a tech week or whatever. Whatever it may be.
I'll have to take a minute. Oh, I was not prepared for this one.
Oh, I don't think this was funny, but I remember we were all like, oh my god, when we were building the stages for Merry Wives, we had moved them like all into like the theater room. And then I think Mr. Brady didn't like the height of the big ones.
Yeah.
So we had to move them all back, but
he said, reverse.
Oh, because like we built them, we're like, oh, we can't even use them.
You guys built like they built the entire stage, and then Mr. Brady was like, yeah, I need it like 3 inches shorter. So sad.
It was.
Oh gosh, Danny, do you have anything?
I can only think of Merry Wives. The smallest platform was supposed to be
a disco light
up floor, and we had glass. We had plastic sheet all over it, so you could see the light coming out. And then Mr. Wolney tried using it, but apparently it caught fire.
Oh my god! And I thought they just went out. It caught on fire.
I think it caught a small little flame. Yeah.
Oh dang!
And he was like, "Nope, not gonna use it. Just cover it up with like a white
tape.
Just kill it. Just get rid of it."
Danny, you know what that reminded me of? Also, why these stages cause us so much trouble? But in the beginning, when we started building them, we were like a couple stages in, and then we had to undo all of them because we made them the wrong size.
Oh,
sorry about that one.
Wait, was that you guys?
I think we were the ones who made the corrections. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was so sad because we had a good couple built, but we had to undo it, and then I kept hearing "measure twice, cut once" from my dad.
I'm sorry.
Measure twice, cut once. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, this has been a great episode. I think we're coming to about a close. Happy birthday, Helena. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you too, Danny. For those of you guys listening, thank you so much for listening. Feel free to email me at themictapes@gmail.com if you have any interesting ideas or would like to be a guest on the show, or comment down below. Very, very soon, this podcast will be moving on to other podcast sites. It'll still be on YouTube, but it's going to spread to other options. So if you guys want to use things like Spotify, or I'm not really sure what the options are yet, but I have a program that once I get to the 3rd episode, it can spread to a bunch of other podcast platforms for me. Right now it is still on YouTube, but very soon it'll move on to other ones, so I'm just letting you guys know that.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop, yeah. Thank you guys so much for being on. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Mic Tapes. Thank you for listening to the Mic Tapes podcast. I will see you guys next week, and these will post Monday at noon. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye. Say bye, guys. Bye.
Adios.